The government is taking a bite out of the loan shark business in a bid to stop people ending up in a debt spiral. It announced tough new measures today to crack down on high-cost lenders, including fines of up to $600,000. The government says changes made 3 years ago to the Credit, Contracts and Consumer Finance Act, which sets out the rules lenders must abide by, did not go far enough. Our social issues reporter Sarah Robson was at today's announcement in Mangere.
Tom, which isn't his real name, borrowed $5,000 from a loan shark a few months ago. He says he signed the contract and had no idea how much interest he would be charged. That loan has now grown to more than $8,000, and Tom says it's putting a drain on his family's budget.
It's very difficult to put bread on the table, and it's so hard to comprehend.
On top of the interest, Tom says there are also the missed payment fees.
And more letters are sent to your address. It's more interest on top of it, and it's an ongoing problem that we don't know where to end.
It's debt spirals like this that the government wants to put an end to with its crackdown on loan sharks. Under the changes, there will be a cap on the total amount of interest and fees that can be charged on high-cost loans. That cap will be set at 100%, which means if you borrow $500, the most you will pay back is $1,000. The Commerce and Consumer Affairs Minister, Chris Farfoy, says those sorts of measures are badly needed.
At the moment, that $500 loan can turn into $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, and that is the problem. Because we're getting families into debt spirals, a small loan turns into a massive problem.
Budgeting services are often the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff when it comes to high-cost loans. Tracy Stowers from the Viola Pacific Island Budgeting Service says many of their clients who seek help are loaded with loans.
They're in a situation where they are robbing Peter to pay Paul. Somehow they're managing to obtain loans, and they've got insufficient money to pay for their basic needs.
Alongside the interest and fee cap, the government says there will be tougher penalties for lenders who are breaking the law, with fines of up to $600,000. But more resources for greater enforcement aren't included in today's announcement, and Chris Farfoy says he'll have to pursue that through the budget process.
One of the challenges I have before the budget is delivered is to try and convince my colleagues that we need to have more resources on the ground to do more policing and, importantly, advocacy. Both the industry itself and community organisations who are represented today say more of that is needed, so that's what we're hoping to do.
Other changes include greater accountability for mobile traders and truck shops, requiring them to pass a fit and proper person test and sign up to the Financial Service Providers Register. There will be clearer responsible lending requirements and greater transparency around debt collection. But even when the changes do come into force, the government accepts that there will still be people in financial hardship who need to borrow money for essential purchases. At the moment, there are a number of microfinance providers who are offering no and low interest loans to people in need. But Robert Choi from Ngā Tangata Microfinance says that needs to be scaled up.
When this legislation comes to pass, it will be important that we're actually ready for some of the demand for short-term high-cost lending. If they can't go to the payday lenders, if they are curtailed, that there are alternative, safe, fair and affordable sources for them.
Robert Choi says that won't be without its challenges. He says people can go to high-cost lenders who can approve a loan quickly.
They can get the loan, they can get it even online within 15-30 minutes, and so that will be a challenge for what is able to be provided as an alternative.
But Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has a simple message for the loan sharks out there.
Stop preying on people who are in circumstances often beyond their control, and because that has been happening, we're now acting to do what we can to stop the worst of the effects on people in their lives.
However, it may take a while for the changes to come into force. The government says it hopes to have them in place by 2020. Mō te hōtaka o te ahi, ko Sarah Robson, aho.